Welcome in, everybody, to the second installment of trying to predict the future accurately. Yesterday was not necessarily anything of a success, but it wasn't necessarily a failure. You'll see in a minute, but it could have been a lot better had I not gotten carried away, and I think that's a good lesson to learn from me. Use me as your example, and don't maybe do fail on your own, but don't fail on your own as much as I do. So yesterday we had Purdue, Florida, the over, Siena, Furman, Iowa State, St. Thomas, Tulsa, Wright State, Marist, Mount St. Mary's, Oakland, and Iowa. We had FAU, TCU, Minnesota, St. Peter's, and Memphis. Incorrect. I believe if there's 19 or 20, it's like a 15 or 14 out of 19 or 20. About a 75%, not very good. I want to formally apologize to the University of Colorado, Scobuffs. I said they were a bottom feeder in the Big 12, and then they blew out TCU by like 20. I guess TCU was a bottom feeder. I actually don't know if I owe Colorado an apology or TCU owes me an apology. Either way. Penn State won their Super Bowl yesterday. They beat Minnesota by 2 points. St. Peter's somehow lost the game by 1. Same with FAU. They lost the game by 1. They were like a minus 700 favorite. And then Memphis lost. They were a big favorite. I was pretty high on them to beat Tulane. Moving on to NBA yesterday. We pretty good to start. We had all the normal money lines, but then the three underdogs we took, the Suns, Blazers, and Nuggets, all did not capitalize. And even, I don't think any other spreads even hit too. So a bit rough. Thought I saw something there. I don't really know. The Clippers blew them out of the water. Cavs blew them out of the water. The Nuggets kept it within 10, but moving on to the NHL. What was that? 5 out of 8. Not great. At 50%, we'll call it. NHL, we were perfect. I actually called the Lightning game to be like a crazy, almost OT shootout game, high scoring game. The problem that I didn't make any money off of this the other day is because I got greedy and I took their spreads. I took the Hurricane to win by 2, I took the Lightning to win by 2, and I took the Ducks to just win, actually. But the Lightning and Hurricanes both won by 1. If I had just taken what I actually had written down, which is right there on the screen, I would have actually gone probably net even yesterday. If I had put $2 on that, it was times 5, would have probably made its way up to $10, $11, which is like $9 profit, which kind of breaks me even-ish. The Mega 1, obviously the Suns and Blazers had their blowouts. The Nuggets did cover. And then the same kind of thing going on here is just very high on the Ducks. That was a great pick. My hockey picks, honestly, I'm like pretty good at hockey. I'd say hockey, honestly, like not to toot my own horn. Like I'm not tooting my own horn when I say that I'm good at hockey. I think hockey's easier to predict than most sports just because there's not a ton of scoring, and usually when a team's better, they're better. There are some cases, obviously upsets happen, but basketball, there's so many opportunities for points, and even obviously college and professional basketball. So I feel like I don't know. I do better. The Mega 2, still a bunch of red. Same suspects here. The one that really hurt me yesterday, obviously all of them kind of hurt me, but what really hurt me yesterday was I do this thing, and I think I probably called it out yesterday, where I put a ton of the same bets in every bet, and I need to stop doing that. Eventually, maybe I'll just start putting like I'll stop doing parlays and just individually bet them. But even if I had done that here, like this wouldn't have been a great day, and so you never know. Moving on to today. Speaking of today, we're an hour-ish out around from when the AP poll will release. Usually Mondays at 2 Eastern. So if that releases by the time I'm done doing this, I don't think this will take as long as yesterday's episode. But if that does release, we'll look at it. If not, I'll do that tomorrow, and I'll probably do my own ranking. Maybe. We'll see. Today, I'm really feeling Charleston Southern. They are... Let me get my notes up, sorry. They're playing Gardner Webb at home. Gardner-Webb has 3 wins. I know I said that about Ryder yesterday, but that was St. Peter's playing them on the road. Charleston is at home. They're a huge favorite, 17.5. I just like their money line. It's not a good money line at all. It's not even worth taking. Honestly, this is a game that, regardless of what they put the spread at, I just think Charleston's gonna win. Same with Howard. They're on the road against a three win team, Coppin State. I just like them to win. They could cover this. Both of these, Charleston and Howard's, could cover the spread pretty respectfully, but they also could not. Like Howard's on the road. We saw the same thing happen to St. Peter's yesterday. So I'm not putting too much trust into them. We have the 16th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels playing Syracuse at home. These teams have played pretty similar schedules, and I feel like North Carolina has just consistently played teams better. And I mean, Syracuse has yet to beat a team with a number in front of their name. They beat Tennessee on a neutral court in Las Vegas, but give me North Carolina. I'll even take them to cover the spread later, as you'll see. New Orleans on the road, going against East Texas A&M. Usually a bottom feeder in, I believe it is the Southland, yes. At least they were for the past 2 years. Obviously, things change, but I like New Orleans on the road. This isn't really one of those games that I'm like super high on. I honestly am a little scared of it. However, whatever. I might take it off. Which would probably cut it down from a 36x to like like an 18x maybe a little more, maybe like 19. We have Santa Fe Austin playing McNeese at home. Santa Fe lost by 2 on the road earlier this season. I think that McNeese plays a little worse on the road. I think Stephen A. Austin has a little chip on their shoulder. It's a night game. They play great on Mondays. Why not? And they're purple. I love the color purple. UT Rio Grande playing Houston Christian at home. I just like them. They're a pretty big favorite, 9 points favorite. I could see myself taking their spread, but I think them just to win is enough. It's, again, once you get down to some of these lower league teams here, less talented teams here, it's a little less certain. It's a little less certain that like a good team or the team that should win is going to beat the bad team, because they're all kind of at the same pace. That's what conferences are for. They're all supposed to be kind of close, in theory. Following that, I have Grambling State on the road against Alcorn State. Alcorn State has 4 wins, and Grambling State just has a better conference record. Obviously, this conference is not very good. They get beat up out of conference, so that's why both of these teams have pretty sub 500 records. Grambling State's 9-10. That's probably why they're getting the benefit of the doubt here, because they've shown that they can win games. It is a road game. It's 8 o'clock, but again, this is just like the games I'm willing to at least like have a stance on today. This isn't necessarily like my locks. We'll get to that. These games I just kind of at least have a say in. Southern U is on the road against Jackson State. Jackson State's missing one of their best players, one of their starting players, and I think the recent history goes towards Southern U. Tennessee State at home against Tennessee Tech. Tennessee State won by 10 on the road, and whatever they do on the road to people, they seem to do like double as dirty at home. So I'll be taking them. Same with Texas Tech. If this was in Kansas, I'd be all over the Kansas spread. Especially if they were like a plus at home. But I really like Texas Tech here. I feel like even if the game was in Kansas, I would think it was still going to be close. I could see Texas Tech even winning that game, like 84-83, if it was in Kansas, in Allen Fieldhouse. But I like Texas Tech here. Obviously, they just lost on the road to UCF, but so did Kansas. So if it's really like that, we're just taking the home team. And they're the 11th team in the country. Kansas has kind of been fluctuating a little bit. At least Texas Tech has been consistently up there. However, they could bowl Nebraska and lose 2 games in a row. Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They are going against Incarnate Word at home. They beat them earlier this season on the road, so we'll take them at home. They have actually lost a game in this kind of position, so this isn't necessarily the most um, definitive outcome ever. But I do like them. I could see them covering the spread. It's only 6.5. I could see them winning by more than that. I could see them winning by less than that. I could see them losing. That's welcome to sports. Lastly, for college basketball, I have Portland State at home. They beat Idaho State on the road, I believe, in overtime. So we're just going to take them. They're the better team. Idaho State hasn't beaten a team with like over 8 wins on the road, so I just don't see it happening. Moving on to the NBA, the Hornets are playing the whatchamacallits at home, the Pelicans. They don't even deserve to speak their name. This game is at 3, so it's not necessarily like a home court advantage for the Hornets, but they did just beat the Spurs. And let me check. Did the Spurs if the Spurs were playing Wemby in that game, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, they were. So I do like the Hornets. They're at home. I like the Timberwolves honestly more than the Hornets, but they are on the road, so it kind of evens it out for me. The Rockets are without Kevin Durant tonight, and they're on the road against the Pacers, so I'm not necessarily sure what to think of that. The Rockets are 2-0 without Kevin Durant, but the Pacers are also playing their best ball recently. They're only going to get better as the season goes on. They were in the finals last year, in case you forgot. So I want to lean towards the Pacers spread on that one, but it's just a rough look. I definitely like the under just because they're missing Kevin Durant, but we will see. There's one more game tonight for the NBA. It's the 76ers at the Clippers. The 76ers are playing their best ball recently, kind of like the Pacers are, but the Clippers just smoked the Suns yesterday without James Harden, and they're getting James Harden back. The Clippers have no Paul George, and as good as they're playing, it's kind of hard to pick this game. The 76ers won at home, but like by 4, by 2. I could see the Clippers winning. They're not very good in back-to-back. They're like 1-7 in back-to-back games, but they've recently been good in back-to-back games, so if that's a trend that's, kind of flipped all of a sudden, I could see the Clippers winning. They are favored by 2. But I think that'll just be a good game. Like, it's got its own slot. That's prime time if you're in the West Coast. So definitely an interesting look. Moving on to NHL. Sorry, I should have all these apps open. The Senators are going to play the Penguins. The Senators, even if they beat a team at home like the Avalanche, they will lose to them by 6 on the road. So I like the Penguins to win. I'm taking their spread here because they're actually not even a favorite at home, which I find very odd. Same thing with the Islanders. The Capitals are kind of injured. So I believe the Islanders, this is the kind of game that they need. Like, the Islanders could win this game regardless of the Capitals' injuries, just because of the way that they play. They're very defensive oriented, and the Capitals are kind of like all over the place. But I like the Islanders here. I'm taking the spread just to be safe. The Predators are playing the Blues. The Blues won 1 game at home, but other than that, they have gotten blown out by the Predators, so I like the Predators to win. The Stars are playing the Jets at home. The Jets just kind of fallen off the map from last year, and I mean, it's the Stars, so let's be real. You can't beat the Stars at home. Are you really going to beat them on the road? Perhaps not. So give me Stars. Avalanche playing the Reds at home, Red Wings. They just beat them by 5 on the road, 5-0. If the Avalanche don't win this game by like 37 goals, I don't know what's real. Truly, like, I don't know what to think with my life. And then the Mammoth, they play the Canucks at home. They beat the Canucks on the road, and the Canucks just are not having a great season. I feel like if you lose at home, how are you going to win on the road, especially in Utah? Like, they're having a good season. They're feeling themselves, so I like Utah. So right here I've got my home locks. That would be Charleston Southern, North Carolina, Santa Fe, Austin. Spread, which is plus 1.5 on DraftKings. UT Rio Grande Valley, Tennessee Tech, Texas Tech, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Portland State, the Hornets, the Penguins spread, the Predators to win, the Avalanche to win, and the Mammoth to win. I took the Stars off there just in case. I mean, who knows? Seriously, who knows what something could go weird. Um, the thing with this bet is, and this could be said any day, but you always look at it and you want to think of what you could take off. And although I have locks on here, these two teams I'm kind of unfamiliar with, especially this one. And then these two teams I'm kind of unfamiliar with, and like this is kind of a scary thing. They're playing a good team. These are the top two teams, McNeese and Santa Fe Austin in the conference, so it could, obviously go either way. But they're all at home. They're all playing teams that they've probably beat or show very good signs of beating. Like North Carolina, for example, they haven't played Syracuse, but yeah, if you like this, I feel like you could leave all of these on and then leave the North Carolina and the Texas Tech, which was probably one of these next ones. So this is my locks bet. So obviously we have the home locks, but this is just all the things that I think are kind of like set in stone to happen. So we actually have 6 here, which is interesting because we have more here, which doesn't really make sense. But Charleston, which is really not adding any value here, so maybe I'll take that one off too, just because this is already a pretty sizable return. I mean, 100 times money is that's not good enough for you. Um, yeah, we add the Wolves on here. Like I said, I like them honestly more than the Hornets. They're playing the Grizzlies with no Ja Morant. Then we add the Stars back on here, and we get one more, or is that two more? Yeah, we had the Islanders because they were on the road as well. Moving here to the hard lock. Sorry, forgot to bold that. Oops. I think this is my best work of the day. However, if you wanted it to really be my best work, I haven't gotten to it yet, but it would basically be the same thing, except I would probably take this off. I might take this off anyway because it's not adding any value. It's just not. It would just be all the money lines. Like instead of the spreads, it'd be the money lines. And like an example for these two teams that are not favored, I would take their spreads. So this is like obviously the hard lock. I think my normal locks is like that, but I like this one without the Charleston Southern. I think this is a really good bet. Um, Even this one is good, but it's just risky. You're taking a couple spreads, you're taking a couple home underdogs or road underdogs, but this one shows a lot of promise. So I'm definitely going to make one that is just like this with no Charleston Southern, but it's just all the money lines and all the safest option that it allows you of the six, the two spread options, two over options, and two money line options. Whew, okay. So regarding all that, I don't know. I feel like I really like this bet. I'm trying to find something on here besides the Charleston that I really don't like. So I'll do it just so you guys can visual. I mean, I know it's right in front of you, but so this will just be the what should I call this? This will just be the fucking 6-7 bet. So we'll do UNC Tech, Hornets, Wolves, Penguins, plus. Islanders plus. See, I kind of want to leave the stars off of here and just do Predator. Is it Predators or Predators? Predators. Predators. I don't know. It's kind of bothering me that I didn't make them all like that. Predators. Avalanche. Avalanche. And Mammoth. So I do think you could add the stars here, and I will put it just in case you're a big Stars fan. But all money lines, unless they have a plus. I think this is probably I have all, everything else is lock in front of it. These bets, I just titled them whatever. But this one right here is definitely the best work for today. My brain is screaming at me like, dude, add another leg, There's definitely something else you could add to this, but I think it gets to a point where I've done that too many times to do it again. So just to make sure that I don't sit here and look like an insane person and make the same mistake over and over and over and over again, especially since I'm documenting it, I'm going to try to change up the mistakes I make. So I'm going to plug this in and let you know the return. And then I think we're good. Honestly, this would be a shorter episode. Yesterday was unnecessarily long, and I apologize for that, but we're new here. We're just trying to fit in, man. We're just trying to do stuff right. So I'll give you it with the stars, and then I'll give you it without the stars. With the stars, it would be 36x. And without the stars, it would be 21. Or, my bad. We do caps lock in this house. So yeah. If you watch this, I've already kind of made this clear, but if you watch this for something along this lines, I think this is the one to put in today. I think this is the safest things to put in today. If you're, you have not, you are. I probably should have said it before this started, but this is in no way or shape or form genuine gambling advice from a professional or genuine just like sport. Like, I just like sports. I like predicting sports, and I like the fact that you can use your predictions to somehow gain a profit, which I think is an incredible idea that people have come up with. So you don't have to take this. This isn't like, I know this is going to happen for sure. This is just what I think. I mean, clearly we looked through my picks from yesterday, and there was a lot of red besides hockey. So if you're looking at this hockey stuff, take my advice. But and on NBA favorites, apparently I know really well. It's not the underdogs. But yeah, leave in the comments anything really that you want to say, but anything, if you're putting in some kind of parlay today, or you're feeling good about something, or you just want to give your opinion on some of the things that I've probably done and laugh about it, and I can't wait to come here tomorrow and possibly highlight all this red, possibly highlight all of it green. That would be sick. But we can only see. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna keep trying to condense the episodes. I know I'm just like some random guy. It's not very highly produced, not very whatever. So we'll keep it short and sweet. Just get the message out. I mean, I spent like an hour and a half watching stuff this morning. Just that could have been given to me in 30 seconds. So I'm gonna try to be more like that, and it really helps with the upload time too. But again, thank you for watching. Good luck today, and good luck to me. Let's hope that I don't look as stupid as I did yesterday, and let's Be happy that I didn't really call anybody a bottom feeder besides Texas A&M not Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Texas. Which one was it? This is super important right here. This is really important to be delaying ending this for this stupid information. Texas East Texas A&M, East Texas. That's what I was forgetting. That's the only team I call a bottom feeder today. So when they beat New Orleans and kind of mess up my parlay, then you'll know I deserved it because every team that I call a bottom feeder, just fade that. Like, please fade that. We are 100% on like the fade meter. So for the 9 millionth time, thank you for watching. As you can tell, I put a hat on today, tried to fix the hair issue we were having yesterday. It got even worse today. So thank you. Always looking to improve every day, and sooner or later we're going to be doing these live on Twitch at hindsight_MT. And sooner or later we're going to have a Twitter, an Instagram, a Reddit, whatever. I'll have everything. But thank you for watching for the 400,000th time. I'm sure you're like, dude, can you just shut up and end the video? How many times do you need to say thank you? How many times do you need to ramble? And the answer is no more. See you guys tomorrow. Good luck and stay sexy.